Hello, dear friends. You are on the Liwa 24 channel, and today we're going to go through some of the major headlines that actually affect people, and then we're going to end up with some of the funny headlines. At least funny to me. I don't know whether you guys will find them funny, but you know. But anyways, let's jump right in. So the first thing here is it's on the BBC. It's about the evacuation of diplomats and other people from Sudan. So it says here, several countries have evacuated diplomats and citizens from Sudan's capital as fierce fighting continues to rage in Khartoum. Khartoum is the capital city. The US and the UK announced on Sunday they had flown diplomats out of the country. France and Germany, Italy and Spain are among other countries also organizing evacuations starting on Monday. Yeah, and I actually read somewhere that the Chinese did it as well. And the interesting thing is, like, when do they actually decide that they actually have to evacuate people? Because this conflict has been going on for probably over a week now, I think. But I'm also guessing it takes time to like coordinate with all the parties involved and you know and confirm that your plane is not gonna get shot from the air as you're trying to evacuate your diplomats and whatnot. So, but yeah, I find that quite interesting. Or I think sometimes they don't know how long the conflict will last. Maybe it may be just a little bit of a skirmish and everybody will agree on something or another. So, yeah, it's kind of hard to tell. But a little bit of context here. So, the Sudanese government has been fighting what is called, I believe, the uh, Rapid Something Forces. I'm sorry, I forget the name of them. But they were previously known as Janjaweed, and they are the guys who are fighting in Darfur over there, and they kind of did some really horrible stuff. But it's a complicated topic. Like it would need like a whole hour to explain the whole history of, you know, of Sudanese issues. But I just hope that eventually they'll agree on something. There's a high possibility this conflict is not going to last as the one in Ethiopia, as long as the one in Ethiopia. They will probably come to a deal because, and the reason why I am hopeful that that's going to happen is because you have two very strong, charismatic leaders, and when that happens, sometimes it's a difference between the two guys, right? Unlike the conflict in Ethiopia, which was like an ethnic conflict between two major ethnic groups. This doesn't seem to be really an ethnic issue. It's two powerful people trying to fight each other. So I hope they'll get along. Alrighty, so moving on to the next. This is kind of sad. So this is in Kenya, and they're saying the number of bodies exhumed from suspected Kenyan cult uh, jumps to 47. So the police had rescued 15 members of the group worshippers at the Good News International Church. Jesus. But anyways, who they said had been told to starve themselves to death. Kenyan police have now exhumed the bodies of 47 people thought to be followers of a Christian cult who believed they would go to heaven if they starved themselves to death. Police near the coastal town of Malindi started exhuming bodies on Friday from Shakahola Forest. In total, 47 have died at the Shakahola Forest. Detective Charles Kamau told Reuters on Sunday. The exhumations were still ongoing, Kamau said. Early this month, police rescued 15 members of the group worshippers at the Good News Church International Church, who they said had been told to starve themselves to death. Four of them died because they reached hospital. Before they reached hospital, police said. The leader of the church, Paul Mackenzie, was arrested following a tip-off that suggested that the existence of the shallow graves belonging to at least 31 of the Mackenzie followers. Local media citing police sources reported that Mackenzie had refused to eat or drink while in police custody. Interior Minister Kithure Kindiki said that the entire 800-acre forest had been sealed off. Wow, 800 acres, that's a lot of land, sealed off and declared a scene of a crime. Yeah, this is quite messed up. This is just terrible. And I mean, I don't know the leader of the church to know exactly why he did this, but we have a lot of um, situations in history where one crazy person just brought about a whole lot of death and pain. You remember the Jonestown massacre and such events, and it's horribly sad when that happens. And I hope this man is punished. I don't know how the laws of Kenya actually deal with it, with this kind of a situation, but I hope he gets punished. Um, and you can just imagine the families of the people who are dead and the people who are missing. I mean, the amount of pain this situation must have caused is unimaginable. And I mean, I just hope when people see news like this, they learn from it and they can tell, when some of these charlatans come their way. Um, let's see here. So, yeah, and that's the thing that surprised me. 800 acres. Phew. I don't know whether that church owned that, but that's a huge piece of land to cover. But I hope they're not going to find any more bodies, and I hope they find the ones who are missing if they're missing people. But yeah, that was really sad. Alrighty, moving to the next piece of news here. This is Al Jazeera. G7 nations reported discussing ban ahead of summit in Hiroshima next month. So the group of seven G7 countries are considering a near total ban on exports to Russia. Japan's Kyodo News has reported, citing Japanese government sources. Bloomberg News on Thursday also reported that the United States and Ukraine's allies were considering an outright ban on most exports to Russia. That report said officials from G7 nations were discussing the idea before a summit in Japan next month. Asked about the Bloomberg report, Japan's chief cabinet secretary Hirokazu Matsuno said that the government was aware of it but refrained from commenting on exchanges among G7 countries and like-minded nations about further sanctions against Russia. So I don't know how this would work, banning exports to Russia. I kind of thought the sanctions kind of covered that, but I guess they may have some other ideas. And they're saying next month, so there's a high possibility. One of the reasons why they're saying next month, they're probably trying to put pressure on Russia to negotiate. They know Russia's not gonna back down. Like, they have invested too much into this war, so they're probably not gonna back down. But this is probably supposed to push Russia to negotiate or to put Ukraine in a better position if negotiations start, because we all know this conflict can't go on for a long time. As far as I can tell, or as far as I've seen, this conflict is very resource consuming. Like, these guys are eating up munitions like you've never believed. So high possibility eventually it's going to end soon, and hopefully they'll come to some form of agreement because I think right by now there have been a total of 14,000 civilians dead the last time I heard, and then before that the UN had said about 8,000 civilians, which, to be honest, and I hate to say this because this will sound really horrible, for a conflict of this size, that's actually kind of low, because most of the times civilian deaths and military deaths are usually one to one in conventional wars. In civil wars, it's horrible because usually there are more civilian dead um, than combatants. But hopefully, they'll come up to some type of ceasefire. But I'm actually interested to see how the G7 is supposed to actually implement that. So, anyways, those are some of the major headlines today, and we're going to go into some weird news here. So, Vienna nudists oppose plans for cable car over their beach. So, I think we all know who nudists are. Guys who like being naked. There may be a deeper, philosophical conversation about that, but we're not going to get into it here. But it says here, notice in Austria are up in arms about plans for a cable car that would pass over a popular beach on the northern edge of Vienna, where clothing is optional. I like that where clothing is optional. The country's Austria press agency on Friday quoted nudist Barbara, I can't say that last name, sorry, saying she feared for her privacy if cable car users with cell phone cameras are allowed to swoop across the area. Yeah, that would definitely be a concern. You would definitely be on the internet. There's no question about it. Um, I don't want to end up on the internet. Funny enough, she's right now on the internet, but not her picture, but she's definitely on the internet with her name on there. Project developer Hannes Dijaco, that's probably not how that's said, sought to reassure nudists, saying that the cable cars would only pass over the beach for a short stretch. In addition, the windows would be made to turn opaque automatically. He was quoted as saying, "What? These guys are really taking this issue very seriously." But anyways, a promotional video for the cable car project says it would go from that place transit station across the Danube River and then back over there. Kahlenberg, I think I said that right, a small mountain in the north of the capital. Some 115 gondolas with panoramic windows would offer a breathtaking view across Vienna. Yeah, that would definitely be breathtaking. But anyways, that's for that. But um, yeah, nudists are losing their rights. We need to go out there and complain about the freedom of nudists. People should be naked. Anyways, last piece of news here. Drug suspect takes off with kilos of sheriff's meth after sting fails. For you who don't know what meth is, meth is methamphetamine. It's a crazy drug, but a suspect, a suspected drug trafficker is on the run with nearly 27 kilograms of methamphetamine belonging to a California sheriff's department. Sorry to stop, but it almost sounds like the sheriff was doing meth. The California Sheriff's Department was having a party and then somebody stole their stuff. But anyway, um, belonging to a California Sheriff's Department after an undercover sting went wrong, authorities say. Oh, it was an undercover sting. So mainly they were trying to catch the guy, and then the guy uh, stole the meth they were supposed to catch him with. Because I think you have to use real meth, otherwise if you use fake meth, I mean, I think the guy may taste it, but hey, the press enterprise reported Friday that the sheriff's department in Riverside County, southeast of Los Angeles, is now trying to get its drugs back. According, authorities set up as the sting on Wednesday in an attempt to identify drug traffickers. Undercover deputies met with the suspect for the drug sale, and the suspect later drove away. And the news paper reported deputies from the gang task force then attempted to pull over the suspect who refused to yield and sped off, the department said in a statement. Well, they should have expected the guy to speed off. I mean, drug dealers are known to speed off sometimes. Due to the high speeds and suspects' disregard for public safety, deputies lost sight of the vehicle, the statement said. In response to an email request for comment, the Associated Press staff Sheriff's Department declined to release additional details. Yep. I'm assuming this is them talking about that. uh she's so serious they're reporting that the meth is gone, you know. But anyways, that's it for today. I hope I was informative, and guys, subscribe, like, share. This is a new channel, and we have big things to do. So subscribe and join my community. And yeah, but anyways, you guys have a wonderful rest of your day or evening or wherever you are, and see you next time.